Hello, my kids. And you're getting an extra video today. I put this on Patreon, but we're not ready for Patreon yet. We're not hot to talk yet. But we've decided that conversation was rising, and somebody said to me, "Well, you should put this on online, have people talk about it, and see what they think." So, okay,
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
All right.
on
So,
X, on Twitter, not this.
no,
Too late.
But I'll run with it. I'll run the ones.
Bob fucking calls me out and says it doesn't know what I'm talking about. So okay, so here's my theory.
No, I said I don't know what you're talking about. You sound fucking insane.
No, I'm telling you, I'm not insane. There's a real method to the madness here, and Bob just needs to believe in the heart of the cards.
I don't believe in the heart of the cards.
He's got
I'm
to
not
believe
good
in the
at
heart of the
gambling.
cards.
I'm not good at gambling, dude.
He's got to believe in the heart of the cards. He doesn't believe in the heart of the cards.
Heart in the cards, rough translation, counting cards.
Yeah, he's got to believe. And they took the water glitch. They took the glitch out of Minecraft. Goddamn. Anyway, so here's the conversation piece. All right, so here's my theory about Pokemon. Now, there's in one of the new Pokemon games, there's a character in there named Green. And what happens is when she wants to catch you, she wants to keep you. So she actually tries to, how to put it, she tries to capture you in her own little Pokemon like ball. So she keeps throwing a ball in your face over and over again. So the character's like, well, I want to catch you. I want to catch you. So she actually tries to catch you, the Pokemon. So here's the thing about Pokemon. I actually think that they actually clone children in the Pokemon franchise. This has been this has been a theory going on for a long time. A lot of people think the dark theory. Now, here's how I explain it. They have what's called PC transfer in the Pokemon universe. This is the thing. You can transfer your PC. You can transfer items and equipment and gear. Now, Bob said to me, well, what about the stuff that people like? When you die, what about all that stuff you left behind? Now, here's how I think that goes out. Basically, the Pokedex is a scanner. It can scan everything that a Pokemon has. So, what happens is that the Pokedex, basically, when you die, the Pokedex goes that signal, and then it scans the person. And upon scanning the person becomes the new Pokemon situation, and then they end up being the object. And so then you basically get scanned. It scans the body, it scans the object, and the reason your character faints, they die and then come back as a actual reproduction with all equipment and gear and Pokemon, and the Pokeballs get sent back. That's what I think. And Bob believes that that's not what. So your rebuttal, Bob?
One moment. Is my mic working? Heard a click.
You're here.
Okay. Sorry. There are times where my microphone jack fucks up. It gets aggravating.
Uh-huh.
So my rebuttal to that, if I can remember what we had like talking about 5 minutes ago. Give me a second. Because when you said PC transfer, I thought you were talking about was it hard drive to hard drive? You're
No,
taking it from your mobile system to a PC, like a proper computer.
no.
Because
In the Pokemon world, you can transfer objects, people. Well, not people. They don't actually. Well, you can actually. They actually do incorporate. You can actually scan yourself and send yourself through. There actually is a thing about that. But
I don't trust that. I would not trust that.
you can do a lot with the Pokemon universe.
No, but what does PC stand for?
Someone's PC, an actual computer.
Okay, because the way you describe it, it sounds like personal consciousness, starting to get cyberpunk in here. Though, when
No,
you
I
said
wasn't
person,
really.
because I was thinking personal computer at first, and I was like, wait a second, what? Because I thought you
Yes.
were talking about like isekai shit, where it's like, oh, you go
No.
from this to that because it's the computer to hard drive difference.
Well,
But I'm
there are virtual intelligent Pokemon characters, like the I can't remember the name of. There's a couple of them actually that live in the internet.
okay.
There's also mythical. There's also the mythical Missingo there, and this is remember this is early gen stuff. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know if
missing no. That one was something.
yeah,
Sorry, fucking
that
Mountain
one
Dew.
I
Jeez,
don't know.
I got a pack of Baja Blast. A little too good. So it
Okay,
makes you
anyway,
piss like a racehorse. Uh, I still say no because the concept of this is it's like okay, so was there any wars or conflicts throughout the histories of Pokemon? Because I thought I
yes,
remember.
yes,
And my
probably.
question is, why would there be? Where would they being fought over? Resources? You tell me they can't clone
It
these fucking
wasn't.
resources?
Well, that was before the cloning technology. The cloning technology is pretty new because the whole letting kids out became a thing. That's something that's somewhat new.
Jesus.
What? I'm telling you what it is.
I'll be real. It's starting to sound like fucking San Diego again. It just the gaggles of fucking preteens and children running out doing stupid shit. Oh, don't worry, son. Go out in the forest, get butchered. How does that fucking work with families? Like
I don't know.
genuinely, how the fuck would that work? You have to conceptualize that your son has died X amount of times, and what's before you could possibly be or not be your son.
Well, I don't think it matters, right? Because they legitimately, at that point, you affected
It's
me.
artificial. It's like knowing that would probably fuck with a few people.
Well, that's the question. Do they explain that? Do they tell parents that that's what happens? Like,
Or what if there's conspiracy nuts who, like that one chick you were talking about that throws a Pokeball at your face, which,
yeah.
even so, even if it was a clone or was not a clone, what allows to be captured within a Pokeball? Like, well, what's the limit here? Because if she's doing
Well,
that, then that must mean what? Anything could be put in those, or at least she thinks anything could be put in those.
yes.
Because what is it? One guy who's a scientist turned himself into a Charmeleon, if I'm not mistaken, in Diamond and Pearl.
Yes. Yeah, someone turned himself into an actual Pokemon.
So does that mean he could be captured by a Pokeball while he's in that form? And if that's the case, what DNA strand allows that? If
The
we put,
strands for Pokemon, the strands for Pokemon and people are similar in almost every way. They fundamentally are a similar genome.
so does that mean if you threw a Pokeball at him, it would bounce no matter what? Because he
Um,
originally started as a person.
no. What would happen is because the theory is, and unfortunately, poor Nightwheel has to deal with the fact that he dealt he was one of those Heathenite families that didn't believe in the true God of Pikachu. So
I was
True God of
allowed to play as
Pikachu.
Pokemon in the early days, and then it came out of X, Y, and Z, and mom and dad are like, yeah, we're banning Pokemon in the house, and made me rip my cards up.
Wow,
that's evil. Like I'm
that's
sorry,
some that is shit ass parenting. My condolences, my guy. You could probably
like
sold those and made bank off of them.
One was a foil trainer.
Damn. I don't know how much they
fucking
go
yeah,
for, but it sounds
dude,
expensive.
dude, you know how many people I know had chargers back in the day, and now you look at it, the fact that a lot of them threw their cards out away, and it's like, oh, you know how much money that would be worth. I'm like, oh, it's like I feel bad for you. You lost that life.
Yeah,
Oh, I had a lot of Pokemon cards back in the day, and and I wasn't a big Pokemon kid, but I was getting them at yard sales and shit back in the day, and it's like I think about it now, if I would have kept half of those,
yeah. I probably could have sold them to a streamer to open a foil pack.
no, like yeah, like Charizards and shit like that. There's a lot of people like
No, I'm still laughing at those opening streams, and it's like, all right, bend it because they paid like $50, and it turned out to be like, what is it, like a rainbow fat Pikachu or some shit.
Yeah. So anyway, we are looking at so our thing is as a Pokemon, like the clone world, that they have a lot of clones. So I don't think they actually tell people that these are clone children. What the clone theory of Pokemon is a very interesting one. It's been around for a while now, but that's what I think happens to kids because they have a lot of dead. If you're to take Pokedex as literal things,
which I don't.
well, dude, some of the lore is nuts.
I'm about to say, I say the Pokedex. Yeah, I'm sure the info is legit, but I see it as a PDA. I don't see it nothing more than a PDA.
It's also a scam. It's also 50 other fucking things. You can put a lot of programs in it that don't make
Yeah,
sense.
PDA. You take a picture on your goddamn phone.
Yeah, but it's more than just that. I think like
You
a lot of
use the Chinese facial recognizing software to realize, oh, that's a Charmeleon.
no. There's a theory. There's been a going theory for a long time that this shit is like they legit are. They have more abilities. I think they actually. I'm telling you right now. My theory is, if the clone theory is true, when you quote unquote faint, the Pokedex puts your body like you die or quote unquote die. You end up in there. You end up in the alternate reality. You end up basically rebooting your body, and they bring you back from the dead. That is my going theory for Pokemon right now.
Okay, so how fast is the turnout rate?
I
And
don't
if
know.
there's a certain turnout rate speed, well, we need to know the turnout rate. Because with the turnout
Okay,
rate,
here's
you
here's
also need to know how many beds are available in the hospital because who knows if these bodies need a recovery period after they come back from being fucking
well,
digitized.
okay, and here's another theory. What if because remember you can run into people in the Pokemon world that carry kids out and carry people out of these locations. They're Pokemon Rangers, I think they're called.
Oh, kind of
Um,
like the one guy in Stardew,
yeah,
Linus, pulls you out of the cave.
yeah, yeah. Um, you can legit that also could be it. So when you quote unquote faint, aka die, they just revive. They have the ability to revive dead Pokemon.
Yeah, see, that one makes more sense to me. That one I
But
can believe. Where it's like, oh, you put the Pokeballs in, heals Pokemon. Okay, who's to say they don't have the same tech for humans? But that cloning and redigitizing shit, nah, fuck off.
no, I think so because again, there's a Pokemon that legitimately does that.
A Pokemon, not a person.
Yes, but that doesn't matter. If a Pokemon can do it, why
What
can't
do you
you do
mean
it?
it doesn't matter?
Why can't you? They both have the same genome. That humans and Pokemon are similar. They have the very same genome. They have brought that up in later editions.
So, are we talking about the whole
So,
series, or are we talking about the newer stuff?
well, no, it's we're talking about the whole series as a whole. They've actually
Okay,
brought up Pokemon human.
okay, because we're spanning probably a long timeline of tech here.
Yeah. So my theory is that I actually think kids die in the Pokemon universe. This is my theory that kids die, and then when they die, they resurrect them, and that's why Pokemon. This is the thing. This is why I think ghost type Pokemon that are from children and shit. That's why I think that shit happens. Because could you imagine you died, you're dead, you died, you went out on the journey, they killed you, and you wake up, you go back to your family, and you're like, wait a minute, who the fuck's that? What's he doing? What's he doing here? What do you mean that's me? That's not me. So there's probably a lot of pissed off Pokemon kids. I also think that the Ditto things that exist, the Ditto creatures,
Oh, the Dittos,
I
yeah.
yeah, I think those are actually cloning mistakes. Those are pre-cloning mistakes.
That one does make sense to me. I
Yeah,
will agree on that one. That one does make sense, being able to take any form.
yeah. That's
Honestly,
actually
A Ditto would make a fantastic spy.
well, no, because it still has a face. But that my theory is a Ditto. The Dittos are actually Pokemon are cloning like escape cloning experiments. That's my thought.
I used to think that they were amoebas when I was little.
No, think about it.
Yeah,
Like,
like honestly, I thought Dittos were amoebas because they look like a microscopic organism from a certain angle. But then I realized, oh, they're supposed to be blobs.
yeah, they're blobs, but they're blobs of genetic material that turn into a person. Like that's my theory. This is my theory because you can turn the Dittos into people. That that is now canon according to Detective Pikachu.
You know what this means, Chief?
Yo,
I'm gonna get myself a Ditto, and I'm gonna clone you. And one day, when you least expect it, I'm gonna put them in your closet.
I already have a sleep paralysis demon. I don't need another one. Anyways, that is our
That sounded horrible. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Is it named
So
Benadryl?
no. Anyway, so we have ourselves a done. I think we're done with this video tonight. I think we said what we had to say.
Like I said, man, like this could have been just a blurb you could have put on Twitter or X just to get conversation.
Oh no, this was fun. This was fun. This was fun. This is something I could put on the. I could put a bunch of hashtags on it. You know, and who knows? Who knows? This could get some interesting thought process. All right, thank you everybody. Have yourselves a very good night. And yeah, no, I'll put this. I'll also put this on X as well. So don't worry, this is all going to be there. You get to be able to see this, and we'll see. We'll see what people think of my Pokemon theory about the cloning process.